All right, what's up, guys? In today's video, we're talking about what are some of the most overrated weapons currently in Warzone. For the word overrated, I'm mainly focusing on the time to kill and mobility, because with the time to kill, we're going to take a look at and break down what it takes for a gun to maintain a time to kill. A lot of these guns everyone thinks is basically the god gun of the game, but in order to maintain their extremely fast time to kill, you have to be 100% accurate, and if you miss one bullet, your time to kill will drop. And that is what we're going to do data mining here in today's video to showcase what guns are needed to be that 100% accurate to maintain time to kill. And if you miss one or two bullets, your time to kill drops and now the gun becomes average. That is in my opinion, is going to define what makes the gun overrated. Also, with the mobility category, that's also going to factor into this. So number one is the Amax. Number two is the Groza, and the reason I have this on the list, as you guys said, I will showcase in just a second. In order to maintain the 470 millisecond time to kill, which both these guns have, which is top tier, you must get 100% chest shots. One factor of these two guns is they do have a different damage profile, so you do more to the head, more to the chest, and then less to the stomach and limbs. So if you get one stomach shot or one limb shot with both of these guns, your time to kill will drop. And then the biggest factor is even if you get 2 headshots with both these guns, your time to kill won't change. It requires 3 headshots, both the Amax and the Groza, to increase your time to kill, which is a huge factor because a lot of the guns takes 1 headshot to drop your time to kill, your shots to kill. So, like I said, the Amax is number one. What I want to go through and look at is what kind of shots it takes to kill, to lower it, to raise it, that kind of stuff, to see what makes the gun overrated. I want to take a look at some of the positives and then some of the underrated negatives that people aren't judging on these weapons to determine which is the best. Then obviously showcase the best class setup for you guys. So what I'll be showcasing on the screen next for you guys right now, you guys will see the actual data on the screen of the damage profile. We have 56 to the head, 42 to the chest, and 35 to the stomach and limbs. The damage is obviously incredible. The positive about this gun, it has a very high damage. In my opinion, it's extremely accurate. And the headshot multiplier is really, really good. So almost 60 to the head is like top tier of all the guns in the game. But you guys can see in the first category on the left, we have 6 chest shots, is 252 damage. Obviously maintains that low time to kill with the 6 shots to kill. If you get 5 chest shots and 1 to the stomach, time to kill will drop because you can't do 250 damage. That makes it a 7-shot kill, which lowers your time to kill by 100 milliseconds, which now you go from top tier to in between A and B. This is a little bit slower than the RAM, but still faster than the M4, kind of in still one of the fastest killing guns, but not the best. And then the next stat you guys will see is the headshots. So if you get 1 or 2 headshots, it's still a 6-shot kill, will still do the exact same time to kill. And then the biggest factor, like I said, in order to actually lower the time to kill, you have to get 3 different headshots in the same, shooting 3 headshots, which is really hard to hit. Your time to kill will drop by 100 milliseconds, which is basically almost instant. But that's the biggest factor for me, is it requires a lot of headshots to lower it. It requires a lot of chest shots to maintain it. So like your balance is not as balanced. It requires 100% accuracy, and then it requires 100% accuracy to raise and lower it. And it to me is what makes it overrated. As far as the negatives about it, it is not as good in the bullet velocity category. When you compare to all the other rifles, you can get anywhere between 12 and 1400 bullet velocity. With this gun's around like 970. Which is like a 25% difference in bullet velocity. So it's not going to be the best above like the 50-60 meters. The bullet velocity will lower your time to kill to longer ranges, which is a huge negative in my opinion. And when you add the Commando foregrip, the 45 round mag, the VOK, and the long barrel, your ADS speed, your movement speed, your stray speed all drop. So it's not the most mobile gun. So it's just like good right there in the middle. Not the best in the close range because your mobility is not the best. Not the best in long range because your bullet velocity is not the best, but right there, good in the middle. This is still, in my opinion, one of the top 5 guns in the game without a doubt, but definitely on the overrated end in my opinion. So the next gun we're going to take a look at, like I said, is the Groza. This is, in my opinion, the best class up. As you guys should know, they nerfed the mil spec to put it back to where it should be. Obviously, GRU suppressor, GRU composite gives you the best bullet velocity, best range. Field Agent grip, 60 round mag, and the Raider stock is godly on this, just like the FAR. Your stray speed is incredible. Your sprint to fire is incredible. So that's the best class setup for it. What you guys will see on the screen now is going to be the damage multipliers. Once again, same thing as a 7-shot kill. If you get 100% chest shots with 7 of those being to the chest, it's going to maintain that damage above 250, which will help keep that 477 time to kill. But same as the Amax, if you miss once, you get 6 chest and 1 to the stomach. You're not going to do enough damage in order to kill somebody. Your time to kill will drop by about 80 milliseconds, which is still faster than the Amax, which is why this gun's underrated and overrated. But your time to kill and your chest is now a little bit lower. One of the good things about it, though, still in what makes it not as good, is if you do take your time to kill and you get it all the way dropped down into the 9 shots, which is 3 chest, 6 stomach, which should be pretty easy to hit. And then as far as the headshots, it does take 2 headshots to maintain the time to kill, but in order to make it faster, you have to get 3 chest shots and 3 headshots, which, like I said, the biggest factor, requires pretty much to be 100% accurate to get 3 headshots and 3 chest shots to maintain the time to kill, and actually lower it down to a 6-shot kill, which now kills faster than 400 milliseconds, which is #1 in the game. Anything less than 400 is basically instant. So, but 3 headshots and 3 chest shots with this gun, which is the accuracy, is one of the big negatives about it, in my opinion. One of the good positives, obviously, it's a Cold War gun, so it does have really good mobility. Like I said, with that Raider stock, your stray speed's like godly, but the gun's not as accurate. If you miss 1 shot, your time to kill drops, which in my opinion is very simple to why this gun's overrated. Requires at least 3 headshots to lower your time to kill and 2 to maintain it, but 1 shot miss is going to lower it. So definitely a big negative in my opinion about the Groza. The next gun I want to take a look at is going to be the Krig 6. And what I'm judging these guns off of in order to maintain what makes them the most overrated is what is popular. The Krig 6 and all these other guns are all in the top 20 most popular weapons. And the Krig 6, I believe, was number 20. It's actually used by a lot of people. This is the best class setup, Agency Ranger, to give you the best bullet velocity. Obviously 3 times zoom VLK with the field agent and the 60-round mag. It's basically the same setup as every Kilo, Grau, all the regular M4 Amax users. The biggest factor, though, about what makes this gun the big negative about it, the time to kill is just terrible. Nothing more needs to be said. That it has a slow TTK, your fire rate's slow. It's basically the Grau's little brother, but like the Grau's like 30 years old and like, you know, in his prime. The Krig 6 is about 12 years old and like just learning how to walk. He's just not as good as the Grau in any way, not even near as close. It does have good bullet velocity, good mobility because it's a Cold War gun. And like I said, as far as what I want to do to take a look at it, I want to basically showcase on the screen, which you guys will see in just a second here. So you guys can see on the screen, we have the Krig 6 and the Grau. Similar fire rate, similar damage. The biggest factor is the Grau shoots 100 rounds per minute faster almost. So the Krig 6 is 730 milliseconds time to kill in its base range, which is literally almost a full second. This is absolutely horrendous. Like I said, one of the worst killing guns in the game. If you compare it to the Grau kills almost 80 milliseconds faster, which is over 10%, which is a huge factor. It does not have as much range either as the Grau, which is a huge negative. 42 meters is still pretty good, but obviously, like I said, the Grau's at 48, so it's about 15% more range and kills 15% slower. So 15% less range, 15% slower TTK, and not as accurate because the Grau is a modern warfare weapon. Definitely just not a good gun. It's very simple, easy to move on from because it's just not that good. The next gun on the list is going to be the MP7. This is, I believe, number 18th most popular weapon right now. This is the best class setup that I think like 60% of people use. Only difference is they swap out the grip for something different. The biggest factor with this one, also in the same category as the Krig 6, it is extremely accurate. That is one of the best positives. It has good bullet velocity for an SMG, like about 50% better than the majority of the SMGs, and a very good accuracy with that tac laser, which a lot of players use. Increases your ADS and gives you really good stability, which helps your overall accuracy. But when you compare it to the top SMGs, like the top 6 SMGs, it has the slowest time to kill up to its base range of 14 meters. So the other 6 guns kill faster. And then once you take it, it drops off. I'll showcase in just a minute. It's now the slowest killing a gun, once again, up to 20 meters. So your base range 14, your second is 20, which the second range is very low. So it has low range and the slowest time to kill. And then when you take a look at it being a modern warfare weapon, the only positive about it basically is a tac laser. It does have a long barrel, which lowers your ADS, your movement speed, your stray speed, combined with the commando and the 60-round mag that all lower your ADS, movement, and stray speed, the mobility of this gun is extremely terrible. So if you compare it to like a Cold War MP5, it's going to be horrible compared to the MAC-10. The mobility is going to be terrible, and it doesn't kill anywhere near as fast. So that's what makes this gun not as good. So what you guys will see on the screen, obviously the MAC-10 is one of the most popular SMGs, if not the most. We're taking a look at this, the time to kill and the range. You guys will be able to see the difference here. So the MP7 kills about a little less than 600 milliseconds, a little over 500 for the MAC-10, about a 30 millisecond difference, which is not big, but it has less range. And then when it drops off in the second range, you guys can see the MAC-10 still kills faster from about the same range as the 18 to 27 meter mark. The one biggest benefit it has only has 2 damage range drops offs, which makes it good. But like I said, when you just factor in time to kill and time to kill alone, it does not compete, does not stack up against the top guns. If I put the Cold War MP5 on here, it would be even better than the MP7. So like I said, we take a look at the stats. It does have a good sprint to fire, but your movement speed, you guys can see, is 10% slower than that of the MAC-10. 10% is a huge factor. Like, if you're racing somebody 10%, the guy will be absolutely crushing you in the sprinting department. Obviously, stray speed is, I can't even factor that. That's like almost 30% slower. Does have good bullet velocity, does have 60-round mag, which helps. And compared to the extra 7 bullets, could be almost another down. But the stray speed and movement speed is a huge negative. And the ADS is actually a little bit worse. So that's basically it for the MP7. It just doesn't stack up as far as in compared to the other top guns. Low time to kill, low mobility, 2 big factors what makes the gun good or bad. For the MP7 is definitely what's going to make it the worst. And then the last gun on the list we're going to take a look at is the Ram 7. The reason I have this as overrated is because it is still one of the top guns. I think number 14 most popular gun in Warzone. But in my opinion, it does have low recoil, it does have good accuracy. I think the M13 is better. And then for a gun with a fast fire rate, I think the M4 is better. That is why I consider it overrated. And the biggest factor what makes this gun good, it does have low recoil, it does have good range, good bullet velocity. When you can factor all those numbers in together, the range is not as good as the M4. The recoil is not as good as the M4 or M13. And then also the recoil, which is the biggest negative, it pulls to the left. 95% of guns go up and to the right. This gun goes up and to the left, which is extremely unique. And unique is not something people are fond of. People like consistency. People like stuff that is normal and natural. Reasons why the AK and the Cold War AK aren't used because the recoil pattern is not as good. Similar to that of the FAR at 83. Guns that don't have good recoil patterns are guns that don't get any love. Nobody wants to use them. Nobody wants to like them. Very simple, short, and final gun to wrap up. It just pulls to the left, and that being unique is why no one uses it. It does have pretty much good everything else. Good time to kill, good everything, but it doesn't compete in my opinion because it's not as accurate, and that is a huge negative about the gun. So that's pretty much it for the video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel down below if you guys are new. If you guys haven't yet, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Trapgod. If you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you.